On July the 27th, Russian shelling killed 5 peaceful residents in Donetsk region, 2 in Avdiivka, 1 in New York, 1 in Bakhmut, and 1 in Soledar, Pavlo Kyrylenko, the head of Donetsk Regional Military Administration, posted on his Telegram channel. 8 other people were wounded, he wrote. Mr. Kyrylenko added that now it is impossible to name an accurate number of casualties in Mariupol and Volnovakha. Early on July the 28th, the Russian army carried out a missile strike on Vyshhorod district in Kyiv region. They hit an infrastructure facility, reported Oleksiy Kuleba, the head of Kyiv Regional Military Administration. At 7 a.m. there was no information about any casualties, as reported by Andriy Nebetov, chief of Kyiv Region Police. Today, on the day of Ukrainian statehood, the enemy launched more than 20 missiles on Ukraine. 5 missiles hit Kyiv region. Such bold actions prove again that the Russians encroach not only on our land but also on our independence and authenticity. Some military infrastructure facilities were damaged. It is estimated that 5 civilians were injured, Mr. Kuleba wrote. On July the 28th night, a Russian missile exploded on the grounds of Gorky Park, said Kharkiv Mayor Igor Terehov. At night, the invaders attacked Gorky Park, which is a favorite place for all Kharkiv residents. Fortunately, the rights are intact. Some utility structures were damaged. No one was killed or wounded, said the mayor. He also uploaded a CCTV camera video featuring the moment of shelling and consequences. A crater emerged next to the buildings. The Russians shelled Tsyrkuny village for 4 hours from 6 to 10 p.m. All fires happened in civil infrastructure facilities, reported the Regional Emergency Service. Explosions of enemy munitions caused a total of 7 fires. The firefighters extinguished them, risking their lives under fire. The blaze destroyed or damaged a private sauna, residential house, greenhouse, summer kitchen, and 3 utility works, the notice reads. The Russians also struck Kharkiv with missiles around midnight. They targeted critical infrastructure facilities in Nemyshlyansky and Kyivsky districts of the city, which resulted in fires. No casualties are reported. Over the past 24 hours, the rescuers went to put out the fire after the enemy shellings 13 times. Fire was set to ecosystems, wheat fields, a landfill, detached houses, and outside buildings, as well as critical infrastructure facilities. Explosion experts deactivated 40 Russian munitions. On July the 27th, about 5 p.m., the Russian army shelled Pechenihi township in Kyiv district with incendiary munitions. The pummel resulted in 3 fires in the township, said village mayor Alexander Husarov. It is documented that a shell hit a critical infrastructure facility. A section of gas pipeline was damaged. Firefighters, medical emergency, police, gas, electricity, and other services are working around the clock, he noted. On the morning of July the 28th, the armed forces of the Russian Federation shelled Mykolaiv. At least 7 explosions were heard in the city. According to preliminary information, a hit to an educational institution was reported. Information about this was confirmed to the correspondents of Suspilne at the military commandant's office of Mykolaiv. According to the information of the military commandant's office, the guard of the educational institution was injured. As of 8:45 a.m., information about the hit at the school was confirmed by the mayor Alexander Sienkiewicz. According to him, windows and roofs were blown away by the blast wave in the surrounding houses. The missile also hit the territory of the water station of the National University of Shipbuilding, damaging the warehouse. On the territory of one of the private enterprises, the remnants of grease caught fire due to the impact of ammunition. Rescuers of the State Emergency Service extinguished the fire. According to the mayor, at least 2 high-rise buildings were also damaged. The State Emergency Service of the region reported that during the day, July the 27th, pyrotechnicians destroyed 29 explosive objects in Sinelnikovsky and Krivorisky districts of Dnipropetrovsk region. The works were carried out in the territories of Slavyansk and Shiroki Hromadas, as well as within the city of Apostolove. 2 cluster blocks of modern rocket projectiles from multiple rocket launchers and 27 modern cluster munitions were destroyed. The village of Maryanske is located 3 kilometers from the front line. For almost 6 months, missiles and projectiles have been firing here from the territory of the occupied Kherson region. Here, they barely have time to extinguish the fires that break out in the fields after the explosions. Farmers of Zelenodolsk Hromada are forced to collect the surviving crop under shelling. About 8,000 hectares of land here are littered with explosive objects. It is impossible to work the land here. There is damaged, battered equipment. Damages amount to hundreds of thousands hryvnias. The windows of the tractors were blown out because of the hits, the wheels were punctured, and there were also damages inside of the equipment. The farmer says 130 hectares were sown, a little less than 30 were harvested. The rest burned in July after shelling by the Russian army. Damages amount to more than 1.5 million hryvnias. There were 6 hits of barrel artillery shells. It caught fire all over the front and burned so much that it was impossible to get in any transport to save it. Now we are mowing winter rapeseed. We practically harvest it under shelling and artillery. When the shelling begins, we remove the harvesters and leave the fields. According to the information of the military administration, about 400 hectares of fields were burned in Shiroke, Apostolove and Zelenodolsk Hromadas due to shelling by the Russian army. Because of this, the harvest volumes are much smaller than planned. Our agricultural producers do not stop their work due to shelling. They do not stop due to missile pressure. They continue to do their work, the work of preparing the soil and the new crop and also harvesting the old crop. Despite the shelling, people continue to live and work in the village. Viktor Nedria, the mayor, says that the infrastructure here has not been affected, but there are the destructions. We have damaged residential buildings. We already have 76 of them more or less damaged. The situation has started to change in the last 2 months. I want to thank the armed forces of Ukraine, the boys and girls who protect us. They managed to push the enemy away. There are shellings, but they are not as frequent as they were in March or April. Many people began to return. Lilia Vakulik has been living in Maryanske for 25 years. Currently, she continues to farm. The day before yesterday, it was very scary when they hit the village with cluster bombs. You sleep at night and it seems that is falling near you. We plant kitchen gardens. I have 2 cows and they farm. Thanks to our armed forces of Ukraine, the situation is under control. We can move around the village. Currently, according to the village head, about 80% of the inhabitants remain in the village, which is approximately 2,800 people. Also, 76 forced migrants from Kherson region arrived here during the last week.